From the neighborhood bakery to large-scale bread manufacturers, bakery and confectionery products have become an integral part of everyday life for millions of Nigerians. But while consumers may easily judge a loaf of bread by its appearance, taste, or price, there are several things they cannot see: the quality of the ingredients, the hygiene of the production environment, and how the product was being stored and transported. It is this gap between what the consumer sees and what happens behind the scenes that makes regulatory oversight particularly important. At this stakeholders' engagement with bakery and confectionery operators in Lagos, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission (FCCPC) is stressing that consumer trust must be earned through quality, safety, transparency, and compliance.
Every input matters: its source, condition and storage, the cleanness of your equipment matters, the hygiene of personnel matters, as do the integrity of your packaging, handling, and transportation processes. Detailed technical requirements governing ingredients, additive hygiene, labeling, and food safety may arise under applicable sector legislation, regulation, and standard. The FCCPA complements the regulatory framework by protecting consumer rights to goods that comply with applicable standards set by industry sector regulators. Quality, therefore, cannot simply be checked at the end of the production line.
Another major concern is how businesses respond when something goes wrong. The Commission says manufacturers must be able to identify affected batches, trace where products have been distributed, and take prompt action where a safety concern emerges.
Consumer complaint should also form an important part of that system. A complaint is not necessarily an attack on business. Sometimes it is earliest indication that something has gone wrong. One complaint should be examined on its merits. Where several consumers raises the issue, the business should look for the underlying cause rather than simply trying to dispose of the complaint. The problem could be a defective batch, failing packaging, poor storage condition, a problematic ingredient, or a recurring difference between actual and declared weights.
Consumer trust is perhaps the greatest asset any undertaking could possess. It cannot be purchased. It must be earned through consistency, integrity, and/or compliance with established quality standards. Every loaf of bread sold and every confectionery product purchased represents an act of trust.
I must also note that this performance from our local yeast, even when we had not done strain improvement, shows that after strain improvement, our yeast can be competitive, even with the foreign imported ones, and thereby ultimately assisting in reduction of foreign exchange in importation of baker's yeast.
The FCCPC adds that this approach is to encourage voluntary compliance through continuous engagement and education, while retaining enforcement powers where businesses compromise consumer rights or public safety. Omoumi Okewu, LTV News.